Hello Mr. Cottingham, hello class if you're watching, and welcome to the basics of racing. This is gameplay of me on the F122 game doing a lap around Bahrain. And in this video I'll be touching on the concepts of braking, apexes, and throttle control. Now before I unpause the video, I want to briefly explain to you what you're looking at on the screen. In the top right corner of your screen you will see a green bar. That's referred to as the delta. It is a timer used to compare your current lap time to your personal best lap time. Green means I'm going quicker than my PB, and red means I'm going slower. Now moving to the bottom of your screen, you will see a big white 8. That is my gear number. And to the left of that, you will see a yellow battery. The yellow battery does not matter too much to this video, so do not pay too much mind to it. And on the right, you will see a speed gauge. Under the speed gauge, you will see a green bar that represents my throttle input percentage, and a red bar that represents my braking input percentage. If the bar is full, I am at 100% input. If it is empty, I am at 0% input. Now without further ado, let's take a look at the lap. Coming down to turn 1, I'm going to pause around the 150. And now I want to draw your attention to the bottom left of your screen. That is a track map, and what it is used for is to identify the type of corners that are coming up ahead of you. Now what I want you to take notice of here is how sharp the angle of the corner is. Now braking is dependent entirely on the angle and sharpness of the corner. The sharper the corner is, the more you have to brake, which is where I want to get into a technique called brake bleeding, which is where you initially slam on the brake as hard as you can and slowly release towards 0% braking input as you reach the middle of the corner. This is done for a couple of reasons, but mainly to preserve speed throughout the corner. I want you to watch the red bar coming up towards the middle of the corner right about now. And I'm going to pause because now I want to explain throttle inputs. Now tires have a limited amount of grip, and within the space of about a second or a second and a half, you can ask the tires to brake, turn, and accelerate out of a corner very quickly. Now, the loss of tire grip will result in a spin or a crash, which is both bad. So, when applying the throttle, which is why you want to be very careful to slowly apply the throttle toward 100% and not slam on it to cause a spin or a crash. Now this is why I want you to watch the green bar as I'm coming to the corner now, and watch how slow it increases towards 100, and then as I'm turning I let off the throttle to keep gripping the tires. Now coming to turn 4, I'm going to pause around here to explain apexes. Now apexes is just a fancy word for the fastest way through a corner. As you can see on the track map, it's a little bit faded, but the upcoming corner is a right-hander, which means I want to be on the left-hand side to make the angle of the corner as obtuse as possible. Because as I said, the sharper the angle of the corner is, the more you have to brake, which means less speed throughout the corner. So by opening up the corner, you can really carry more speed, which is why we do it. That is the importance of apexes, simply for speed. Now watch, as it comes to the corner, I'm going to brake, and I actually miss the apex a little bit, and watch the delta as it goes into the red, which is why it is so important to hit the apex and really keep the speed through the corners. I'm coming through the second here, but watch the braking here, coming down to this right-hander. Look at the brake bleeding. That is what brake bleeding is, and look how much time I gain on exit. A tenth of a second is about a minute in terms of racing time. Now coming down this left-hander, very difficult to brake for on exit. Throttle input very precise there. Coming onto the back straight now, half a temp up. Very hard to get half a temp anywhere. Now coming to this left-hander, I want to pause here. This is where I want to explain what makes F1 cars so special, and that is downforce. Downforce is essentially the air over the car, pushing the car and the tires into the ground. Now to demonstrate this, I want you to place your hand palm down on your desk and just slide it around. See how easy it is? Now with the same hand, I want you to push down as hard as you can and try sliding around it now. That is what downforce does essentially to the car. And the faster you go, the more downforce you have, which is what F1 cars are designed specially for. What makes them so quick. The amount of downforce they can produce would allow them to drive on the ceiling of a tunnel, which is what is going to allow me to this next right-hander to go to the corner completely flat out without letting off the throttle, which is why I to watch here. As we're coming to the right-hander now, watch the throttle, and without lifting, I can make it through there easy, no lift, which is why F1 cars are so special. I come to the penultimate corner, and now coming up to the last corner up here, I want you to really watch the delta coming through. Because what's going to happen is I'm actually going to make a braking mistake. Now, this is what happens when you do brake bleeding incorrectly. I'm actually going to hold the brake for a little bit too long, and as you can see, I have a 1/10.5 up on the delta. And I wanted to see just how much time I lose off of one corner because of a braking mistake that you might not be able to see visually. Nearly half of the time gone in one corner, all because of a slight braking mistake you might not have even been able to see. That is why it is so important to bleed off the brakes efficiently to carry the speed through. Now coming up to the end of the lap now, crossing the line to finish the lap for a personal best. Now that lap was actually good enough for 330th out of 117,000 players globally, which I'm pretty sure is top 0.002% of players. So maybe if you do take some tips from this video, you might be able to really impress your friends and show off your skills next time you go karting. But anyways, that is all from me. Thank you for listening and watching.